what I can see CBN is doing now is trying to lay a foundation today, then put bricks on it and want to complete the building same day. You can't do everything all at once. It's not going to be an all at once policy. A lot of international students abroad are complaining. Parents, and back home, some workers have not gotten their salary. That means the amount of naira you are getting is not even up to the quantity of dollar you need, and the quantity of naira you're even getting is not flowing as it were because salaries are not being paid. So we really have to look at a system whereby CBN has to be holistic in its in its approach. We have to come to the place of actually looking at our own internal economy.
CBN in itself could be an autonomous body because they become an advisor of the government, or the government instructs an end point that they want to get to, and the CBN goes ahead with the manipulation. So it's just like giving you an assignment. I want this done. I want this done. So how you go about it becomes it's at your discretion. So if what you're doing is now harming the people, right? I have to blame you for how you go about the business. So right now I cannot blame the government because on the holistic point of view, they know where they are going. But the monetary policies are made by the CBN. I think I have read the act that established the CBN, and I see that they are the advisor. Now they are abandoning their regulatory role on banks, and this is where we're having problem.
Considering the current situation, CBN is on its own, but I believe it's really working hand in hand with federal government because if you notice something that CBN itself is not even stable with the kind of policy they are making this time around. Now they tell you there was a time that they made they placed the limit on they had a maximum withdrawal if you are using your ATM abroad. Then they lifted the ban. Then they did another thing again. They are not stable with the kind of policy they are coming up with right now.
The banks should be able to uh, sell dollars for me if I want to buy, but there should be a fixed rate that dollar should be obtained. I don't know. I've traveled to a lot of countries, even in Africa. It's only Nigeria that things are working very backward. You don't go to a monetary market whereby you see some old people sitting around the fence and you say you want to buy dollar. No, money stuff should be dealing with a lot of software and computer. It should be in a place whereby it's designed like banks also, that you know the current exchange. No one will cheat you. If they tell you that this is the current exchange rate, you should know it. So I don't see the reason why CBN is coming up with one policy today. Tomorrow they will bring out another. So our problem is based on the CBN, and the federal government should also think of what to do to solve the situation, because you don't bring problem to create another. You are not if you want to solve a problem, you have to solve it without bringing another problem.
I really appreciate like the idea behind buying naira to grow the naira, the idea of like buying local goods to boost local demand for goods. But I think we are basically taking for granted the incentives of what Nigerian consumers are and like consumers generally. So like in this part of the world, right, nobody's going to tell you to buy Canadian goods just because they're Canadian. They're telling you to buy it because the quality is good and the price is also good. So like in the stores here, like you have Canadian goods that are basically priced lower than like goods coming from the US, and they are of the same quality. So that's why like US companies are willing to establish their like branches in Canada, because like they know that they can achieve lower price as opposed to exporting their goods directly from the US. So even like so channeling that to the idea of like buying naira to go to naira, we have to ensure that our goods are also competitively priced and the quality is also up to standard as against like other commodities that are around the world.
For instance, a lot of Nigerians are coming to UAE for shopping. If before you are coming, let me say the minimum that you will spend is like, let me say like $4,000 for your transport and your visa. But if I can get those goods in Nigeria, if I spend that $4,000 in getting those goods in somewhere like Aba or some market in Onisha, we go back to Lagos and sell them very wisely. So the idea is for the government to come up with policy so that it will encourage the industrial growth in the country. Because, like, if you ever read The Flattened World, it's an American author, A Flattened World, you will see that a lot of transaction is moving from before. People don't want to buy goods that are made in Japan. Some years back, they call them fake. But as time goes on, Japanese goods are the most quality goods. Nigerians are using made in Japan cars mostly. So now the production rate shifted from America to somewhere like India, and also from India and China and India. These are the current place whereby production is taking place. Why? Because the government of those countries, they made it affordable for people to set up industries.
The right orientation is what is needed. See, I can tell you that a lot of people have started buying Nigerian stuff since the hashtag buy Niger to grow Naira started. Even on the group WhatsApp of my alumni, a friend was advertising shoes. They said buy Niger to grow Naira. And at least 2, 3 people ordered immediately. So I think it's about orientation. When we can tell ourselves that we have we have what it takes to produce quality. The shirt you are wearing, if you check it well, most of it is not Dolce and Gabbana. It is Josh and Gabaga. It's just you didn't notice. So if these people can come out and build a label of them, for themselves and be proud of it. And the reason why they've not been proud of it is because there is no support. There is the government has not supported them, and the government has not supported them, and there's no good orientation that made in Nigerian goods are good.
How can we attract those manufacturers to come and set up shop in Nigeria? So, like, if there's such a demand, I mean, we have a population of that is like 170 million plus. Like, we have that much of a population. We have a market for those goods. How exactly can we encourage those producers of foreign goods to come and set up shop? Because the moment they set up shop in Nigeria, it basically becomes a Nigerian good, because it's basically produced on Nigerian soil, hopefully with Nigerian workers, and basically sold to Nigerian public. So basically, like, the liking for foreign goods issue is basically the issue is where are those goods produced. So I mean, I feel like if the government has set up the right infrastructure in place, those companies would have done feasibility studies to find out, okay, where exactly would it make sense to situate our factory. And when you know that they have a country that has a liking for such goods, they basically come and set up shop in Nigeria. But knowing that it's easier for Nigeria, for them to like maybe set up shop in the neighboring country or maybe in South Africa, and they make use of their facilities and now export their goods to Nigeria, then it's basically for them, they're just looking at the economics of it, like how what incentives they have to set up shop in Nigeria. So basically, like, it's also not a bad thing to have like a taste for foreign goods if we can ensure that those foreign goods, in quotes, basically the manufacturers begin to set up shop in Nigeria and like produce more goods.